Today we're going to replace this old worn out grip on this softball bat. This happens to be a Louisville Slugger LXT bat, but the process is the same on pretty much any softball or baseball bat. Now my bat is in decent shape other than this grip being worn out now for the second time on this bat. My daughter uses it quite a bit. And we're going to go ahead and install a lizard skin grip, which is a really popular brand. You can find these on Amazon for pretty cheap. There's other brands as well, but I'm going to be doing the lizard skin. The lizard skin does come in 3 different thicknesses. The 0.5 is mainly for the wooden bats. 1.1 is what most of us will use, and there is a 1.8 that's a little thicker. You may be curious what thickness was on the bat originally so that you get a similar thing. If you look online, you'll find different sites saying different thicknesses, and what I found is the manufacturers, some of them use the same old 1.1 thickness that lizard skin provides, and some of them are just barely different, like a 1.2 or 1.3 or really close to that. So most of us will be using the 1.1, but I'm going to go ahead and start peeling off this old grip, and I'll measure the thickness of it just to show you all. So first thing, we'll peel off this old finishing tape on the end. It just covers up the black tape. And we'll peel off that black tape. Now the actual grip itself will start peeling off, and I'm just going to measure it. And as you can see, I'm measuring it here and it's pretty much 1.1. Let's go ahead and peel off this old grip. If your old grip was worn all the way through and had holes in it, or it was separating, chances are you've got some dirt through there, and dirt's probably stuck down on here because it's a little sticky from the tape on your bat. So any kind of dirt might be stuck there. Now, you don't want to wrap your new grip right over top of that dirt and grime because it probably won't stick very well and it probably won't last very long. So if you have some dirt on there, get yourself a little bit of something like rubbing alcohol or something like that, goof off, and just get a rag and a little bit of that and clean off the dirt. Don't go crazy with it. You don't want to scrub it super hard with any kind of chemical for sure, but you can use a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a rag to just get off the grime and dirt if there's a bunch of sticky stuff holding that dirt on there. I think it's pretty good. Mine's not super dirty because the grip was worn out, but it wasn't all the way through. So I'm just going to wipe it down just to be cautious. Especially on the ends where the dirt has a better chance of getting in. Okay, so I've wiped down my bat now. I'm going to let it dry for a few minutes. I just want to make sure it's nice and dry, especially if you only use like soap and water to clean it off. Let this thing dry for quite a while so that it's 100% dry before you try to stick the tape on. Let's go ahead and open up our new lizard skin here. It does come with some instructions, but it doesn't really give you very many steps and it's not very detailed. So let's go ahead and unroll your new tape here. So it will come with a piece of finishing tape. This is the piece of tape that you apply at the very end to kind of cover up the black electrical tape that you'll need to use at the end. If you have a look at your new lizard skin, you'll see that it has a dot pattern on there. And that dot pattern enhances the grip, of course, but it also can provide you with a way to make sure you're wrapping it around the bat consistently. You want to wrap it around about 1/4 inch overlap as you're wrapping it around. You can add more overlap or less overlap to kind of customize the feel of the grip. More overlap will make it feel a little bit more like a ribbed feeling. You'll feel a little bit of the kind of overlap more in your grip. So 1/4 inch is basically one dot, one row of dots. So if you overlap this and overlap it pretty much just over the one dot, or cover up that first row of dots, that's about 1/4 inch. That's about what you want to do. So the lizard skin will have pre-cut angles on the ends, and for me, I took a look at it and they both are the same length. The length of the angle or the line that they cut from the factory is the same. So it doesn't matter on this particular lizard skin which end I start with. There are some other lizard skins I've seen with one of the angles is a little shorter than the other. For example, here's the grip I just peeled off. You can look at it and see that each end is a little slightly different. And if you have a little bit different like this, you would start with the shorter angle. You see how this angle is a little shorter? We would start with this one up against the knob there. But again, for me, this is just a lizard skin I just bought, and both of the angles seem to be exactly the same. Another thing, you need to think about if you're a right-handed batter or left-handed batter, which way should you wrap the grip on? So the little instructions don't really talk about it much, but for a right-handed batter, you should put the grip on and wrap it counterclockwise around the bat all the way up. The reason for that, I'll show you here on this other bat, is here's one for a right-handed batter that I've wrapped counterclockwise. You can see as a right-handed batter, I'm going to hold it like this. And when I go to swing, I'm pretty much pulling on the tape. I'm kind of tightening the tape. I'm pulling it in the direction that it was wrapped if I'm a right-handed batter. So when I swing, it's going to naturally pull and tighten that grip. And if it was the other way around, I would constantly be trying to loosen the tape as I swing. So that's just my preference. Again, right-handed batter, wrap it counterclockwise. Left-handed batter, we would wrap it clockwise around here to make sure that as they swing, they're naturally not trying to unravel that tape every time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the tape on the knob and we're going to wrap it counterclockwise so that the tape ends up like this, so that the tape will last as long as it can and stay stuck down as long as it can. Once we peel the backing off, we're going to put the tape on here, the angled side against the knob, and we're going to wrap it counterclockwise around there and start trying to cover up that first row of dots. It's a little hard to see that first row of dots at the end because there's some text. They've printed some patent information or something down here, so just make sure you're not looking at the second row of dots. Make sure you know where the first row of dots really is, because sometimes where they put the lizard skin logo, it covers up those dots on the first row. Another tip, only peel off a few inches at a time of backing. If you peel off a whole bunch, the tape's just going to stick to itself, stick to your table, and it's going to make your life a little bit harder. So let's just peel off a little bit at a time, and let's go ahead and start sticking this on. I would say starting is probably the most important part, so take your time here. Let's start wrapping it counterclockwise. So just pull it tight enough to get the wrinkles out. You don't need to stretch it very much. If you overstretch it, it won't stick as well. So just pull it a little bit tight and get all the wrinkles out. And if you mess up the beginning, you can unwrap it a little bit and start over. Just want to show you a little bit closer up here what I'm doing. And you can see I'm just covering up that first row of dots. If you overdo a little bit, it's okay. You can peel it off just a little. And like I said, you can overlap it a little bit more if your batter likes that extra grip feeling, that kind of ribbed feeling. Or you can overlap it a little bit less if you want. But you do need some amount of overlap to prevent dirt and whatnot from going up in your grip. And then as you get to the end here, get all the backing off and just wrap it on the end there to where this piece on the end is just straight around the bat. You should end up in pretty much the same spot where the old grip ended. You'll be able to tell by kind of how sticky it is. There might be a slight color difference there. Okay, so the grip is now installed. It's not going anywhere. It feels good. Now we need to secure the end of it here so it doesn't unravel on you. They do give you this little piece of finishing tape for the end, but it's not to secure anything really. What you need to do is get yourself some black electrical tape, and we're going to wrap a couple wraps around the very end here to where it's like half on the grip and half on the bat. That is what will actually hold down your grip. And then you put the finishing tape over the electrical tape to kind of cover that up. I'm going to wrap it in the same direction the tape was getting wrapped. Make sure you wrap it so that it's pretty tight. This electrical tape you can stretch a little bit, you know. That's how it's made. And just do 2 wraps. You don't need to go crazy. And once you're around a couple times, you can go ahead and cut it off. I like to use scissors and cut it instead of tearing it. That way the tape doesn't stretch and it sticks better. Now that's down. Now we can go ahead and apply our finishing tape on here to make it look good. Again, this finishing tape is just for looks, so just get it on there straight, cover up that black tape. There we go, all good now. And the finishing tape does provide a little spot in case you want to write your kid's initials on there or something. Thanks for watching my video on how to replace your grip. Now this LXT bat can go back into use. It's an older bat, but it's still great for a backup bat or some cage hitting. And that new grip's gonna feel good. We got this old worn out grip off of there. This process is the same on any baseball or softball bat, so don't be afraid to try it yourself. These grips are pretty cheap online or at the store. So go ahead and then you can pick out whatever color you want and give it a little bit of different custom look. And thanks for watching, and if this video helped you all out, give me a thumbs up and follow for more useful tips. Thanks.